You had gone up to your normal spot, on top of the 1A dorms, since you like spending some alone time up there, just thinking about nothing, looking at the stars. However, today you didn't feel like yourself. You didn't want to be around anyone. You just wanted to be alone in your room, or even in your comfort area, on the roof, alone to think about nothing but the stars. Today was also a sad day for you. This morning you had gotten a call from your mum saying that your dad had gotten into a car accident on his way to work and is currently in hospital getting emergency treatment. They said that he has internal bleeding in the head and has a few broken ribs and bones. Other than that, nothing will affect him mentally. You didn't concentrate in any of your classes, so you made the excuse that you were sick. Surprisingly, it worked, and so you got the rest of the day off. However, little did you know, Bakugou was being curious as to why you hadn't been acting like your normal self today. Eventually, the school day had ended, and the class had returned to the dorms. The girls wanted to check up on you and see if you wanted anything to eat. So, they went to your dorm room, knocked, but no answer. The girls then decided to open the door. It was unlocked, but you weren't there. "Where's YN?" Uraka asked. The girls shrugged. They didn't know either. So they went around asking the other members of Class 1A, but they hadn't seen you either. Ever since the girls had asked around, you had been atop the 1A dorms, just looking at the stars with a blanket to keep you warm, and some hot chocolate, crying and wishing that your dad would pull through the injuries. You and your dad were really close, and you would share anything with him. Just nothing spicy or anything similar to it. Bakugou's point of view. Bakugou had been watching you for the past week and had noticed you would go up to the roof and just look at the stars. Although he was quite worried about you today, so he went up to see if you were there. You were, but you weren't looking at the stars. Instead, you were curled up in a ball on the ground with a blanket around you. He heard little sniffles, after you had bawled your eyes out, of course, not long before he came up. Bakugou had decided to go up to you. "Boy, what are you doing up here?" he asked, but no response. "I thought you were meant to be sick." He paused, standing beside where you lay. He sighed. "You know, you shouldn't be in the cold unless you want to catch the flu." You didn't answer him once again, so this time he sat beside you. You then sat up with your blanket still around you, shivering a bit. Bakugou saw and sighed again. He wrapped his arms around you and pulled you into a hug. You obviously started to blush until your entire body had become boiling to the touch. "Jeez, you're fucking boiling. Did I heat you up too much?" Your eyes had widened with embarrassment. You had never expected the most violent and angry boy in Class 1A to be so gentle and, well, considerate. You wanted to know why he was being so kind and not his usual angry self. You know, the really moody and will get agitated very easily, even by the smallest of words. So you looked at him and decided to ask, "Why are you being so nice to me? It's not like you." Bakugou started to have an agitated face on him. Then he looked away for a few seconds and turned his head back to face you. This time his face was calmer than when you had asked that question. He decided to answer you. "No reason." That's it? That's all he had to say? You thought. "Nope, that's not a good enough answer," you said with a bit of sass in your voice. Bakugou tried to hold the anger back, but couldn't. "What else do you want me to say, you damn nerd?" Bakugou shouted, but as he said it, he slowly became quieter, as if he was calming down. Little did you know, he was actually blushing with both embarrassment and feeling this strange feeling in his chest. His heart almost beating out of his chest. He couldn't believe he had you in his arms. All of the times he could have ever gotten close to you, it had to be this way? To be fair, you were feeling the same way, with your head about to explode with the amount of heat generating from it. You could hear his heart beating, since your ear was up against his chest. You could feel his chest moving up and out, down and in. Eventually you had calmed down, almost wanting to fall asleep. You two were just sitting, in silence, still in each other's embrace, not necessarily wanting to leave it. Bakugou had pushed you away with a little force just so that he didn't hurt you in any way. You both sat there just looking into one's eyes. You yourself felt flustered as you felt your face heating up. You eventually spoke, looking away in embarrassment. Bakugou, I like you. A lot. Bakugou sat in silence as he slowly processed what had just happened. Eventually, his face turned red as his eyes were wide open in shock about what he had just heard. Out of nowhere, Bakugou kissed your lips, passionately. Your brain just went blank, as you had never in a million years thought that your crush, Bakugou Katsuki, would kiss you or even return the feelings back. You then return the kiss as Bakugou then puts you on his lap, hands on your waist, slowly going up your back. You both then split from the kiss, breathing heavily, gazing into each other's eyes. Hold this, he says, handing you your blanket as he picks you up with your legs wrapping around his waist. He gives you a quick kiss on the lips before setting you down, saying, "My room." You blushed at what he said, thinking about what he meant. Time skip to Bakugou's room. After you both got to Bakugou's room, he closed the door, lifting you up straight after, kissing you intensely. He lay you on his bed, leaning over you. "Are you okay with this?" Bakugou says, you nodding in response. He smirks at you as he moves his hand up your top, making you blush. Bakugou kisses you again as he slowly removes your top and eventually reaching the clip of your bra. He unclips it, revealing your breasts. He takes a good look at them and licks his lips. Don't stare, you say in embarrassment. Bakugou then begins to suck on your nipple, one hand massaging your other breast, the other making its way down your stomach, causing light moans to escape your mouth. ... You can imagine the rest from here.